Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dancers Doing Stuff. I know we're starting a little bit later today than normal because I had some crazy tech mishaps. As always, you do like 30 episodes of a show and somehow you still find new things to mess up. So, constantly learning. And I'm just super excited to be here today. And my guest is the amazing Cristina Macho. She also goes by Macho, you might just know. Cristina Camacho. I always mess that up, but she goes by Macho because, who wouldn't if that's your last name? Like, that's the coolest nickname ever. So she is an amazing dancer, super smart, super talented, has been teaching herself so many new things over this quarantine, and also has created so many great opportunities and grants and just amazing arts advocacy work for dancers and other artists and people who are just struggling this year. So I'm super excited to get into all of that. Of course, we always like to hype up our guests because not only is she a great person, but she's a great dancer. So I'm very excited. It was hard to pick which video to share, but this one is just so good. Let's check it out. I love that video so much. It's just so casually cool. I don't know how to explain it. I wish I had that swag and that energy. So with that, I am so excited to bring in Cristina. Let's give a big round of applause.
You're so cute.
We need the applause because we haven't heard it in literally a full year now. Like, it's almost been a whole year since this whole pandemic started, which is crazy that we're still in this. But thank you for being here. Yeah, literally so depressing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for putting up with all these tech craziness. But we made it. We're here. And I'm so excited to get to talk to you. So, what we're doing for our craft today, it's a little different. I mean, I keep saying that. February has been a month of kooky crafts on this show. But we both really love planners and journals and stuff like that. So I thought it would be cool to just kind of talk a little bit about that and share some of our planners and what we do. And especially because it's almost March, a little planner setup situation. So I don't know about you, but I bullet journal and I have a passion planner and I have 400 notebooks. What kind of planner stuff do you like?
I have my weekly planner that's this is everything you're doing. Then I have stuff on my phone. And then I have my journal that I journal in almost every night.
Wow.
And then I have a sketchbook.
Amazing. Do you like planning on your phone? That it stresses me out, but I know that it's good for notifying me for things, but I'm really bad at using digital planners.
Yeah, I prefer to write it down because I'm a scratch it out when you do it kind of girl.
Yeah.
But I do like the what is it? The to-do lists or the reminders.
Yeah.
That's really good because I will write something and then I'll leave and I won't have my notebook and I'll be like, I don't know what the hell I was supposed to be doing. So
yeah, and
that
especially
kind of stuff I like to keep in my phone.
It's these planners and notebooks are heavy, so it's really hard. I have a what's it called, a pen case, and I had my students guess how many pens they thought were in the case, and everyone guessed a different thing, and the winner got to pick the song for freeze dance. There were 36 pens in my pen case.
Jeez.
There's no
Are they
need.
all different colors?
100%, different colors, different brands, highlighters. I have it's not an X-Acto knife, but it's like kind of an X-Acto knife, but like less intense. I like it's too much. No one needs that many pens. But I love planning and color coordinating everything. And I know that you also have said that one day you hope to like make your own planner and like office
I
supply
do.
stuff. Do you want to do that
I'm
like
very sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I know it's a little delayed. We're still having some weird tech stuff on my end, but we can't win. No. um, do you want it to be like for the everyday person? Like, I want to know more about this dream of yours. I know it's a little unconventional because we're not talking dance right away, but I just love planners. So,
Yeah, I have always been like a very I need everything planned. I like things organized kind of person. I'm very picky about my planners. Like, I don't like when they have too many lines. I don't like when there's too much stuff on like one, like two sheets together. I like a week to be on two sheets. So when I
yes.
pick them out, I'm very picky. So it's just something I thought about this year. Just creating like some kind of line of my own like planners and bullet journals and different like organizational and even like almost self-care kind of physical things. But and my sister is very artistic, and in terms like she can draw. I can't really draw. I can fake draw. Um,
Same, same.
and I got her a bullet journal for Christmas, and the stuff she's done with it is absolutely nuts. So I was like, okay, we just have to combine forces and like create this line that will eventually come out. But I have I always have too many goals at one time. So I was like, that's gonna be a down the line
Yeah, I
project.
feel that. And I mean, that's perfect. You could plan it. You could put it in your planner.
Yeah.
I know. I watch like so many bullet journal videos on YouTube and just like the things people do. Sometimes I get intimidated, but I think it's okay if you're not like a super great artist. I'll show like what I usually do. So I sometimes I get a little too crazy. I make it and I don't use it, which is a problem with bullet journaling that I have. So like
Mm.
for February, I did this like cute spread with even like a little like
Oh
pocket.
my gosh.
It's mostly just stickers.
But that's so
It's
cute.
mostly stickers. But then what I like to do, so I usually like to do for like the month page, I try to do like a little artistic thing. And then I started doing this, which I didn't fill out at all this last month, but I have like a to-do list and then a to buy list because I'm always like, oh, I need light bulbs. Oh, I need this. Oh, I need this. And then I'm like, oh, I need to do this. Then I made a health tracker because like I thought I was going to work out. Did I work out in February? No. That's fine. You live and you learn. But then when I
Right.
like to use my bullet journal, so I use my passion planner for like planning my day. And then what
Hmm.
I try to use my bullet journal is for more like reflecting and journaling. So I draw out like these little boxes for the week so that I have a little space for each day to write my like reflection. I
Yeah.
was doing like morning pages with the Artist Way, so I was doing like 2 full pages a day, and I used like too many notebooks. So I was like, I can't keep that up. But I think I might want to for March do like 1 page a day, maybe. So we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see what happens. So what does your like planner setup look like?
I was gonna say your bullet journal is much cuter than mine. That's what like I want to get into bullet journals because it's like it looks so fun, but I just am too much of a perfectionist that if I mess up, I'm gonna want to throw the whole book away. So my journal is more like I'm scribbles. This is a new one because I generally go through like a journal a year, but
Yeah.
it's just so it's mostly like writing.
Wow. Do you
It's
give
not anything.
yourself prompts or do you just like kind of free write?
Usually free write. I mean, I have given myself a prompt before, or sometimes I should have gone to get my last year's journal. Because that one I have like some poems, or I did a couple like writing
Ooh.
workshops. So I did like IG writing workshops. If I'm choreographing something, you will tell because I'll have like scribbles or like boxes of like an idea of what I want, like the
Like
camera to see or something like
staging and stuff.
that. Yeah,
So
yeah.
cool.
This one's mostly just reflections, I guess, because that's all that's happened so far
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I think it's been a really big year for reflecting and journaling and planning. So I know it's like a little different than like, obviously, we're not going to like journal on camera right now, but I
Right, right.
think that I think that it's a really I'm a call to the audience to maybe like tonight, or I don't know, do you like to journal more at night or do you like to journal more in the morning?
Typically at night, just because it's like my way to like decompress of everything. I use my little what's this called? Insight timer that people I think most people use for meditation.
Uh-huh.
So that's like my meditation. But if I am having like a bad morning, or I wake up and I already feel like overwhelmed, I write just so that I can get it out of my body and then like kind of restart my day. I have I have really weird dreams almost every night. So sometimes I feel like my dreams trickle into my real life and I wake up still feeling however I felt. And if I write it down, then it's just like cleansing almost. And then it lets me start.
Wow. Do you have like really vivid dreams, like crazy things? Like, are they like full on movies in your head?
Yeah. Sometimes they're so weird. I can't even explain, like, I just can't verbally explain what's happened. I've had dreams that are so real. I woke up and I thought I was still in them. Like, once like I got a boyfriend mad at me because of what I started saying, and he was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "You did this." And he was like, "No, I didn't." And it just I thought I was still like I thought it was real. There was no crossover. So they can be
Wow.
very vivid.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I should do like a poll of like dancers and creatives to see like if they have like really crazy dreams, or like I've had dreams where I like fully dream an entire musical, like with overhead cameras, like it's like a full-on movie in my head with like dancing. I'll wake up like humming a song that like doesn't exist in real life, but it disappears so fast. Like I wish I could just record
Oh,
it, because I'm like dreamt some really cool movies, but they don't come true. And like with like
right.
acrobats and like synchronized swimmers in a pool of a fountain, like it's crazy. So I wonder if that's common for dancers and stuff to like dream movement. I wonder. It would be cool to find out how many people do that.
Yeah, that's one thing I realized I don't dream about. I'll dream about people I've met like through dance or dance situations, like about an audition, but I don't actually dream about the dancing itself, which I don't think I realized until the right this second.
Whoa, that is interesting. I've had both. I've had both situations. That's so cool. So yeah, so this is like our call. We're obviously not going to journal live, but we are big promoters of journaling, whether it's cute or ugly. I think it's really helpful. I used to journal more at night, but then once I did the artist way and you're like supposed to do morning pages, now it feels kind of like I haven't found like a rhythm yet now that I've finished it. So sometimes I do the morning, sometimes I do night, but I love that. So let's get into dance stuff because you are an incredible dancer. I mean, just like looking at that one clip, like, oh, I just love the way you move, and I would love to know a bit about like your dance upbringing.
Oh, where do we start?
Well, where are you from?
So I'm from Maryland, like right outside
Okay,
DC.
cool.
Um, I didn't start like for real dancing until high school. Um, yeah, I took
Wow.
like one class when I was 13. I was a soccer player, so
Okay, so
that
always
was
like an
like
athlete, always a mover.
yeah. And then my mom actually I remember now. My mom after we watched Honey bought us these DVDs. One of them was Tina Landon's Behind the Moves. So it was essentially like what we're doing now, but before it was a thing. So she like would teach dance like her choreography to whatever hot music videos were at the time. And then I would just be in the living room, like learning all the choreography. So Christina Aguilera's All I Want Is You, Oops, I Did It Again, Samantha Mumba, if you take it back that far.
Oh
Like
my
I know all of
gosh.
those. I still know all the choreography from those videos.
That's
But
amazing.
but so then and then it was just like that was a thing. It happened. And then in high school, I just was like, I want to get back into dance because I would like choreograph my friends like for indoor recess or whatever. Like the time that sticks out is so in DC we went through something called the sniper attacks. This was like back in I don't even remember what year. I was in like 5th grade.
Mm.
Um, some dude was just randomly, not to get morbid, but there was a sniper in our area, and so we had to have
Insane.
indoor recess and every day for like a couple weeks, and so we just made up dances. And so from that, I was like, I think I like dancing, and then I got more serious. Like I started taking classes in high school, and then in college, I was like, yeah, I want to do this seriously. So I uh, picked up the dance major and I joined dynamic dance team, which was the hip hop team on campus.
Cool. So were you always like focused on hip hop and like street jazz and all of that?
Yeah, that was what felt most comfortable to me. So when I started taking like more technique classes in high school, I was like a junior, senior with these like freshmen, 8th graders in some classes. And I was like, this is awkward.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
it was weird. But then in the hip hop classes, like I was I mean, no, I'm gonna just claim it. I was one of like the best people at the studio.
Yeah.
So it was a weird dynamic. And then even in college, that was the first time I'd ever taken modern dance. And my advisor was like, maybe you should consider dropping the major because we didn't have dance as a minor. And I was like, okay. And then fast forward like senior year, I was what's called a Kappa scholar. So like I was a scholarship because of my dance department
Wow.
accomplishments.
That is so crazy, and I think that's something that I hope changes in the like collegiate dance world is that like
Yeah.
I mean there's been so many discussions at least during this pandemic, which I think has been great to like hear people talk about this, but like how it's absurd that modern and ballet are required and then like jazz and hip hop and tap are like electives, and it's like why do we have just well obviously we have it because of the institutionalized racism, but like it's absurd that like these styles are not seen as equal when they both have such high level skills. You can be all different levels of all different styles, and like it's just so frustrating in college settings where you only learn such a small amount of dance at a higher education level. But I could talk about that for a long time, but
I was gonna say it, and it's not even just schools. It trickles into even arts programming and then
yeah.
beyond.
Yeah, especially yeah. I mean, it's like even when you think about like programs like ProSem, like everyone has to take ballet, but you get to pick
Yep.
another style. Like who decided that? Why? I mean, I do think ballet is great for your body for training, but like I don't know. That's a whole other conversation we could have. But I love ballet. Don't get me wrong, but it's like all dances are important, but not in a weird way. That okay? Well, I'm getting off track. But so you graduated from college, and did you come right to New York right after that?
No, I didn't. So when I graduated, I have to think back now. I feel like my memory's losing.
Same.
So I graduated and I worked for a little bit just teaching dance. And I was on a company here called Culture Shock. So I was performing with them. And we would travel and I was teaching. So it was like a good balance. Initially, I actually wanted to go to LA.
Mm.
Then I went to visit LA. And right after, I went to visit New York. And I was like, I actually want to go to New York. So I started preparing everything for that. But at the same time, so I had been working for a couple years and I was preparing to make this move. Um, but first I had gotten this internship working abroad, teaching dance in Spain. So I
So
like
cool.
saved money for that, went and did that for a couple months. It was awesome. I came back and I was like, all right, I'm going to pack up my stuff and go to New York. Then on a Thursday night, one night in DC, I was hit by a drunk driver and they like physically ran over my body and
Like
drove
your
away,
entire body?
like my ribs. Like they drove over my upper body.
Oh my
Um,
God, I never knew this.
so, yeah, it's a little known fact. Um, yeah, so I was on bed rest for a couple weeks. My limbs were totally fine. It was just my ribs and my spleen. So I was in the hospital for a couple days and then on bed rest for like 2 months, I think, almost three. And then, so it
Wow.
like completely derailed all of my plans, like the progress I felt like I had made. And then I attended Rock the Industry. So that happened September 2017. I went to Rock the Industry December 2017, and then I moved to New York in April 2018.
Wow.
So
That's
it's been a journey.
amazing. That's amazing. I had no idea. And they never found the person and like,
No, they found her. So
oh God.
uh, she had she had actually hit somebody else's car before she hit me, um, and they chased her. So they found her.
Oh my God. Well, it's amazing that you survived that. I can't even imagine literally getting run over by a car and then still being a professional dancer afterwards. Like, it's one
Yeah,
thing
I
to
kind of
like
forget
break
that
your
it
foot.
happens.
It's one thing to like break your foot or like get bursitis in your elbow, but like to literally get run over by a car and then to survive that and like get even stronger and better at dancing afterwards, that is like, I'm giving you applause because you get more applause because you're so strong. That is amazing. So, what are some of the things that you've really loved dancing in New York since you moved here? Like, what's like one of your favorite opportunities that you've had?
Oh, that's so hard.
I know.
I I feel like my biggest ones all happened in the same year, like right before COVID. I'm gonna pick two.
Okay,
Um,
that's fine. That's fine.
I really love doing Candace Brown's Soul Spot. I knew moving to New York that I wanted to like be in some kind of production of her, so it was amazing that she decided to do one and host auditions for it the next year. Um, and that was just really fun being in rehearsals with everyone and just seeing like the creative process. And then it was over like in a matter of days. So I was really like missing that feeling. And then right after, I did the VMAs with Ava Max. So I was very lucky. Like my favorite things happened like back to back.
That's so cool. I feel like it's like once you're in that kind of path and you're like putting out that energy of like standing in, like, I am doing this, this is what I'm loving, like those opportunities come. And it's so frustrating that like everything shut down right after that and like it kind of like changed
Yeah.
everything. But I'm sure that there's always a silver lining, and you've done so many cool things during this pandemic. So before we get into that, I would love to play our first game.
All right.
That was very loud. Apologies to anyone. So it is time for Would You Rather. And don't worry, none
Oh,
of these are too crazy because they're a pre-packaged game, so they can't be like too scandalous. But let's hope that I get one that is one that we haven't. I tried to shuffle them, and then sometimes I still pick ones that are repeats. And I think I'm going to have to start like asking people to submit Would You Rathers because I've gone through too many of these already. Okay, let's see what we get. Okay. Would you rather have the hiccups for 2 hours every day or fight off a horse-sized swan every time you go to the restroom?
Uh, I'm gonna say this one because eventually I feel like it's gonna get tired of me. So I'll go
Yeah,
with this
and you'll
one.
get so strong fighting a swan that's the size of a horse every day.
Right. That's almost like boxing practice. Like,
You won't have to
hello?
cross train. That's it.
Right.
You're good. Okay, let me find another one. Oh, that's a repeat. Okay. Would you rather have all soft and fluffy textures feel like sandpaper when you touch them, or feel dizzy every time you lie down?
Oh. What counts as a soft texture? Like, does my bed count as a soft texture?
Yep. Like even
Uh,
like your clothes.
Even my clothes. Yeah, no. Then I'd rather just be dizzy. I know what that feels like because I've had some crazy nights, so I I can deal. You fall asleep eventually.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like you're not able to fall asleep because you're dizzy. You just feel dizzy when you lie down and then knock out.
Right.
Okay, last one. Would you rather never be able to open your mouth or have to walk backwards everywhere?
Backwards. I like to talk.
And then like you wouldn't be able to eat either. Like that would just be so
Oh, I
hard.
wasn't even thinking about that. What? Yeah, I can't give up pizza. No, absolutely not.
And which we're going to get into, you wouldn't be able to do your voiceover stuff, which is something that I'm so excited to talk to you about because this has been something. So, I have taken a bunch of voiceover classes over the past few years, and I still am too scared to put myself out there and submit myself for anything. So, when I saw that you were doing voiceover stuff, I was like, oh, it's a sign. And I would love to talk with you about that and just like how you got into it and what your experience with voiceover has been like.
Yeah. So I have wanted to be a cartoon character, so voice. Not even like I have a specific like voice or tool bag of like these are all the people I can sound like. But I just love. I grew up on Disney movies, and so I've always wanted to be the voice of a Disney character, or like Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network. Like I'm not
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 discriminating,
gonna.
will take any job.
Yeah. Um, and I remember I had been on like a couple of my vision boards, like maybe 2012 or something, but just never knew anything about it, and I was like, oh, that'll just be something I do like once I'm famous, because they give you anything once you're famous, but
Literally.
then I had said to a friend like this is something I'm interested in, and I just kept saying that, like never did anything about it, but just put it out there. And then Aurelia, shout out to her, Dynamic Fam, uh, posted that she had been doing voiceovers and that she had this whole like VOD community. And so I like made it a goal for 2021 that I was gonna do it. So I joined and like did a couple classes. I bought some. My sister gifted me like a mic bundle, which I'm actually gonna have to upgrade because it's not it's not up to snuff.
Oh no.
But it got me started at least. Like I
Yeah.
started taking classes. I do a class once a week with this guy Chris Grant, who's like absolutely amazing. And then I try to submit at least like 5 submissions a day. This is actually my booth back
Yeah, I
here.
was gonna say, do you have a booth? That is like goals. I'm like so
Yeah,
jealous. Have you,
it
how do
probably
you,
isn't that good, but
I mean, but you gotta start somewhere. And like, that's
yeah.
so great that you actually like you're starting it and you're doing it. Like for me, I'm like I've taken like so like I think I started taking classes like maybe 3 or 4 years ago and I have not submitted to a single audition yet.
That's
And
crazy.
it's
Why?
so bad. It's because I think part of me is like, I don't have a demo done. So I'm like, oh, like all the ones on Backstage are like, submit your demo, submit your demo. And I'm like, oh, it's so expensive to start to make a demo. Like to make one with the teacher I was doing, it was going to be like over like, it was gonna be like $600. And I was like, I don't have money right now. And like, it's crazy how expensive it is to like get in a professional booth if you want to do it that way. But like, you can totally DIY it. And I don't know why I haven't done it. So maybe I'll do it right after I talk to you tonight. I'm gonna do it, but I don't know. It's crazy. But what kind of places do you submit to? Do you do like the voices.com and the voices 123 and all of that stuff?
Yeah, so I ponied up and paid for the subscription for voices.com.
Yep.
Just banking on the idea that, okay, if I book like 4 jobs for $100, like it will pay for itself.
Yeah.
But so I'm doing that, and I just go in, like read the copy, do all the little exercises, and then record it and send it. And then I just don't look at it again. Like once it's gone, that's it.
That's amazing.
So
have you booked anything yet? I know you like just started.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I feel like I've maybe like as of last week just started getting into like taking the right approach to reading the script. And I really do think I need to upgrade my mic, because when I listen back to it, I'm like, oh, there's like a lot of other sounds.
Right. And it's crazy what people I don't think realize with voiceover is like a lot of times it's literally people are recording these like big national commercials like in their closet under a blanket. I mean, we're not the big people, but like, you know, it is very much like sometimes you're even editing it by yourself. Like there's so many skills that you have to learn when you get into voiceover, which is crazy. It's not just talking.
Oh, absolutely not. Like I went in I think that's part of why I wanted to do it too, because as dancers, we're like speaking with our bodies, but we don't really have to vocally say anything. And I was just like, this is another way for me to just practice like putting myself out there, using my voice as opposed to just like showing up physically. And then what I actually like about the audition process is they can't see me, so I just say it and like you'll never know who I am.
Yeah.
Versus at a dance audition, like part of what you're being judged on is, do you fit the look of whatever this job is, which is I went through a whole like identity crisis of like where do I fit, what's my look, and then how does that make me feel about myself. So it's almost nice to be behind the curtain.
Yeah, that is so true. So another thing that you've been up to, I know you taught yourself to play drums, or you've been learning drums. That is so cool. The video that you I need to post that on the Instagram, the video of you playing drums, because like you're really good. Like you had all these different sounds happening and I was very impressed.
I feel like it's like by nature a little bit, like as dancers we have good ear, or most of us have a good ear.
Hopefully.
And there's like a sense of coordination. I've always, that's another thing. This year, like 2020 to 2021 has been just do everything you've always wanted to do. So I've always wanted to play the drums. Even as like a little kid, I just never did it for whatever reason. And that was also on one of my vision boards. I was like, I'm going to learn to play the drums. I had actually taken my first lesson last year, right before pandemic. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. This will be my hobby. And then everything shut down. So I was staying with my sister in Buffalo. And as a birthday gift to myself, I bought an electric set so that I could pack it up and bring it with me wherever I go. And I was just like learning off of an app. So I like low key know how to read music. And then
cool.
I used like a YouTube tutorial, and now I'll like listen to a song and I'll just see if I can figure out like which drums that they're using, or like which percussive instrument they're using.
And I'm sure that's going to help you in dance, and you're probably hearing music in a whole new way now. So when you go to class, it's going to totally open up a new way of thinking and approaching the dance. I love that.
I think actually it was the other way around. I think because
Really?
one of my strengths as a dancer is my ear. Like I can usually hear everything in a song, which I think
Ooh.
is why I wanted to play the drums. Um, and then even actually before I started dancing, I did step. So at my middle school, we had a step
Okay.
team,
Oh my gosh, at your
and
middle school? That is so cool.
yeah. So Fatty Girls, first place
Shout
all of our
out.
competitions. But so I like learned about like percussion and beats and rhythm. So like that trickled into dance because I already had that kind of foundation. And then when I switched to like drums, I was like, oh well, I already know how to keep rhythm. I already know how to do all of this. So I think it like fast tracked me.
Nice. I mean, you have a great ear. Whenever you dance, I'm just like
Thank you.
the pocket, as they say. It's deep within you. But so another thing that I would love to get into is your work with creating grants and all of this arts advocacy that you've been doing during the pandemic. And I'm not sure if you've been doing it before, but tell everyone about this because I've been so impressed and just inspired and amazed at everything that you've been doing. So take it away.
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know that I was necessarily doing anything direct pre-pandemic. I've always been involved in the arts in some capacity, like whether I was performing or choreographing or teaching. Um, I did a little bit of like arts admin. Oh, well, yeah, I did arts administration, like internships. And then I worked at Ailey, and now I work at Lincoln Center. And so I've always been like kind of towing the line, doing both creative and administration stuff. And I don't know, all these programming things or like casting calls or even just industry things, like dancers aren't usually getting paid very well. This is very like common fact. Um, and so I was just thinking about how lucky that I was that my part-time job like still kept me on and I could still like save money. Um, but I was thinking about how many arts workers were displaced. And I've always wanted to create some kind of like foundation or coalition for artists. I just thought that it would be like way further down the road. And it was just one day I was like walking home from the grocery store and I was like, I wonder if there's something that I could do right now to help. And so it just like started a snowball like, oh, well, I could raise money. Well, how can I raise money? Oh, I can do this. Well, what if I include these people and blah blah blah. And it just like started to build and build. I didn't really know if it was going to go anywhere. I thought like maybe a few people would like throw some money my way and be like, here, like we feel bad for you. um, but I like got a lot of friends involved, like asked them questions about um, like asked a friend about fundraising, asked a friend about websites. I really tried to like reach out to my network, which is not something that I always do. And as soon as I posted the video, I like my Venmo started blowing up like within maybe an hour, and then we raised enough money. We raised so my initial goal was I think 500. I was like, let me keep it conservative because I don't even know if anybody's going to donate anything. Everyone is strapped for cash, so like, why are they going to donate money? And I think we made 1,000 in 9 hours, and then so that gave me enough money to give two grants. So the first grant went out already. It was um, this girl Jasmine. She's from the DMV, and she is a playwright and director. So shout out to her. But it
That
was
is
really
so
fun. Like
cool.
it was awesome seeing the community support first off, and then just like gathering all of these different artists. So I asked a bunch of different judges from different areas on the East Coast, like someone from Philly, someone from New York, someone from a few people from Maryland, and just gathered them and had them review the different applications and then like discuss it. And it was very interesting because I've been on the application side. I've like applied for a number of grants, and I just don't think artists realize A, that they're out there, like there are as many as there are, and B, that they are attainable.
Mm.
Um, so then the same people start getting the same grants. So I really wanted to kind of like reach out to as many people outside of my immediate community as possible and get them to bring other people in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have another one soon. I'm just trying to finalize like judges and things.
Yeah. So what is it called? I know you have it has
Oh,
a name. I didn't even say it. So share like the name and then like how people can find it.
yeah, that's also awful marketing on my part.
Trust me,
It's
I'm not good at marketing either cuz I didn't even send you the flyer for this exact interview to post.
it's called the Amplify Grant. So it is um, directed for BIPOC artists. The first round was for age 18 to 23. Um, but yeah, obviously, like there is a marginalized groups of people who either haven't received the same amount of funding or just like underserved. And so this was really just honed in on that group of people, um, and making sure that we like, I can't say even the playing field because it was like it was a mini grant, but showing some kind of like support. And it was really great because the community just showed out for it.
Yeah. I think that's so great, especially because it's like so many people are wondering, especially like since the summer when like thank goodness people have become more, I guess, I hate saying like woke, but like it seems to be
Mm-hmm.
that like more people than normal are really thinking about the bigger picture and thinking about all these injustices and like it's gonna take a lot of people, but a lot of people don't know what's something actually tangible that I can do. I can read all this stuff, I can work on how I present to the world and myself and how I talk, but you creating this was such a tangible way that people could actually really make a difference and like it might be small now but like it is a stepping stone that is really like $500 can really make a difference in someone's life. So like that is so great and so smart on your part to start this and set this in motion because it is so needed. So I was so impressed when I saw that. And I just love it. So
Thanks.
everyone check it out. Is it on your website? I have your website listed
Yeah.
below.
Uh-huh.
uh,
Yeah,
but
it's
yeah.
under if so actually before I even did the grant, I just created a database. I was thinking about there's all this money. How do I get my friends paid basically? Like I'm trying to get the people I know paid.
Yeah.
And so it started off with that. So if you go on my website, there's a tab that says artists for artists or artists X artists. And it's just I'm gonna be frank, I have not updated that. Um, but it's just like split up into different categories, like what grants are coming up, what should you look out for, and then resources, like here's some definitions that you'll need to know, here's some people you can talk to, like I have a friend who does resumes and you almost always need to submit a resume. So it started off with that, and then I was like, how can I expand? So the grant information is probably not actually clickable yet, but it will be under that same tab, like artists for artists. And then if you click over, it says Amplify Grant.
So
So
cool.
yeah,
I
check it
love
out.
that. That is so good. So, do you have, I mean, you are very busy, but do you have any other passions outside of dance and outside of the things that we talked about already that you would love to share with the world?
um, that I want some things I'm working on. I'm not ready to share. Um,
Ooh.
but there's like just stuff with programming. I'm trying to kind of merge the my experiences. So my experiences as an artist and my experiences in administration. So that's like kind of where the grant stuff came from. So now I'm trying to also like shift into programming stuff a little bit. So hopefully that information will come to fruition soon. Um, honestly, my problem is I need to do less projects. I think
But every
I think
single
I get,
project you do is like so cool and you do it so well. So like,
but then I
don't
feel like
stop.
I dissipate all my energy into all these places instead of like giving focus to one thing at a time.
Mm,
So I'm trying to like manage that a little bit better so that I'm not spreading myself too thin, and then also I don't want to be like a, a jack of all trades in that it to the point where I'm not like 100% proficient in any of them, if that
yeah,
makes sense.
I feel that.
Like I don't want to not meet my potential in the things that I could be working on because I'm working on so many things.
Yeah, that's something I definitely need to work on that as well.
It's hard, especially with the like this hustle lifestyle. Like everybody has 7 side jobs. Like it's
Yeah.
hard not to be.
And
But
I
I'm
just like
trying to.
I get so excited about so many different things and I'm like, "Wait, I
Yeah,
haven't finished this one other thing. But I want to do everything." It's like I want to do every style of dance. I want to learn every type of craft. I want to do every like it's just craziness.
yeah, yeah. So I
Amazing.
think right now my goal is like listing out my like immediate goals, my long term goals, and then where does everything fall in between.
Which fits very nicely into our planner talk before.
Aha! Full circle.
Yes. Amazing. Well, it's time for our second game. Let me get my little. So, we have our questions. I'm going to randomly pick from each color. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure that I don't have repeats. I try to get rid of them after I use them, but let's see. What's this one? Veto. Okay. And do. Oh, well, this one you already answered, so no. You don't get out easy. It was, have you ever been out of the country? So.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go. Pick a color.
Pink.
If you could live anywhere in the world for a year, where would it be?
I really loved Spain. Um, I thought about when I was there, I thought about just staying and doing like a year there. So I'm going to say either Barcelona or somewhere in the UK. Just that there's still like a good art scene out there.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, next color.
Orange. Is that orange?
Yeah, well, secretly for me it's green, so it's a little crazy.
Oh.
It's a game for me too. Um, have you ever laughed so hard a beverage shot out of your nose?
Yes. I don't know how old I was. We were eating dinner, and my like dad said something stupid, and as I had like spaghetti, and as I like was taking my drink of water, it was just like shot out
Oh my
because I was
gosh.
laughing so hard. And I got in trouble because like you're not allowed to laugh that hard at the dinner table
Well, then don't
at
be
your
so
dad's
funny. Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay,
It was that I
next.
couldn't stop laughing. That was
Yeah.
the issue.
But like, I love those moments. I haven't had one of those moments in a long time. That's what I want after this pandemic to just like gut laugh for
Oh, I thought you meant
solid.
for stuff to come out of your nose.
No, I'm okay if everything stays in my nose. Okay, next color.
Blue.
Who has been your biggest influence? That's a hard one.
I don't know if my answer is gonna be corny.
That's okay. Say it.
My mom, just because she is like the most selfless, hardest working, kindest but still like spicy person. Um, she was a teacher for I don't even know how many years. Um, she does like volunteer work in her spare time, and she is a cancer survivor of many types of cancer. So she is like
She's
my absolute
Superwoman.
role model. Yeah, like you can't get
Wow.
any better.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And that's not a corny answer. I love that answer.
Okay.
Okay, last question of these. What is your least favorite word?
Moist.
Yeah, not a fan of
I feel like
moist.
that's a basic answer, but I also
No,
don't
but
like
it
the
is
word.
gross.
I don't like the word brain either.
Brain, like what's inside our head.
Yeah, I think
Interesting.
for the same reason. Like I just
It
imagine like a
feels
brain.
like all like
Yeah,
wet and
yeah, and
gushy.
it's all moist.
Yeah, our brains are pretty moist, right? Hopefully. If they're not,
Oh,
then ooh, yeah, we'll move on from that. So, the last question that I ask everyone is what brings out your most creative self?
oh. Um,
There's no wrong answer.
I don't even know if I have an answer. Like it's almost I don't want to say like not disappointment, but just like anytime I feel like I'm overwhelmed or just like up to here with whatever, um, just having kind of like a blank page or like an open area is kind of gives you opportunity for whatever. Like literally anything can happen. And I feel like that's when I'll just say artists in general like create their best stuff. Like I know a lot of teachers have said when you are feeling sad or angry or hurt, that's when you should create because that's when it's going to feel like the most real or raw and authentic.
Mm.
Um, so it's frustrating because those are the times you want to do nothing, but I think that that would be it kind of like unlocks the most opportunity for creativity.
I love that. Amazing. Well, where can people find you if they want to connect with you? What's the best way to get in touch?
You can follow me. I was like, what is my Instagram?
It's right
um,
here.
underscore C Macho. You can also see my website, Cristina Camacho, specifically if you want to book me or if you want to like any grant information that will be coming out soon. Hopefully, like within the next few weeks. Uh, I'm excited about my potential judges, and it'll
Ooh.
be a very small amount of applications accepted. So I'm gonna put that out there.
Ooh. That's very exciting. And then, of course, make sure that you follow Dancers Doing Stuff on Instagram and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Essentially Haley. It's not Dancers Doing Stuff, it's Essentially Haley. And then, if you want to follow me for my personal stuff, you can find me on Instagram at Haley Grove. And yeah, I'm super excited to just check out your website. Definitely, everyone, check out the grant resources and all of that information. And I'm definitely going to share a video of you playing drums because it's so good. I'm obsessed. And I'm probably going to watch the video of you dancing again like 5 times after we end this because
Oh
it's just,
Lord.
oh, I love when you just. I don't know how you do it. It's like, ooh, I can't even do it. I can't do it. And I swear I'm a dancer, but it just looks like it feels good when you dance. So,
You can do
thank
it.
you. Oh, well, thank you. But amazing. Thank you so, so much for being here. And this was so fun.
Thanks for having me, and happy belated.
Oh, yes. My birthday was yesterday. I didn't mention it. Thank
I was gonna
you.
bring a cupcake and be like, "Happy birthday,"
Oh my
but
gosh.
we don't have any. So
True. I made an ice cream cake and I didn't eat it because it was too late by the time I got everything together. So maybe I'll do that
oh
now. That's my plan for
yeah, go treat yourself.
post recording. Amazing. Well, thank you again so so much and have a great night.
Thank you.